versus Canada.
Starting out with Zinker versus Meg D. Now, Meg D was in the 2v2 with Kosalix yesterday, swapped over now into the crew battle. Seeing some floating going on. Zinker was the first one to grab Meg D was the first one to grab the weapon. Saw a little bit of unarmed damage coming out from Zinker. We'll see if he's able to fend off these Katars of Meg D with this bow. It's working pretty well so far.
It took 20 seconds for Meg D to press an attack button. Like, he was just trying to see how Zinker's moving. And unfortunately, like, in the crew battle format, yeah, it's a best of 3, but essentially you're doing a best of 1 right now. Like, you only have these 3 stocks to try to figure out how your opponent is going to react to the things you do. The fact that Meg D is spending all his time just, like, being next to his opponent is really odd to start it off.
Getting Meg D really deep in the red here. Something Zinker was able to do so well in all of his games yesterday was get an early lead. He wasn't taking people out in yellow. He wasn't necessarily doing 10,000 damage every game, but he was getting a solid lead early. And look at this. Fully building up 50 damage just like that on Meg D's second stock. Zinker playing even better maybe than he played yesterday. This is huge for him.
What is going on? Meg D was looking so confident yesterday in the 2s. He was looking so confident in the 1v1 when we had to do the tiebreaker against Boomy, one of the most established North American 1v1ers. But against Zinker, he is like a fish out of water. Zinker is just playing with Meg D right now.
All right, Zinker actually looking kind of nasty here. Now, Zinker is a grinder. He has like over 1,000 games in ranked. As he takes this second stock, over 1,000 ranked games this season, which is incredible when you look at everyone else around him on the leaderboard. He's number 6 on the ranked leaderboard as of last night, and you're seeing this practice come in. Almost gets the perfect spot dodge there. Meg D might be finding the stock here soon, but this is a big lead for Zinker against a very strong and proven 1v1 player.
Yeah, I was talking about how yesterday Zinker was giving his team just a slight lead. Like, he was taking out the first person, but he was red when the second person came in. Right now, Meg D versus Zinker. Zinker's looking like he'll have a good stock, or maybe even a second one when Crocky comes in. D-Light recovery, and Meg D is going to get 1 off of Zinker.
Like, there's no way Zinker doesn't take this stock pretty quickly without taking too much damage, especially if he gets a sword, but it's a bow coming in. See if you can find a D-Light recovery there. You see him floating around a little bit, maybe looking for the nairs. That's 2 nairs in a row. He's whiffed, but he hasn't taken too much damage. A third nair, a fourth nair. That seems to be his KO option. Wants to catch Meg D with the nair. Weapon spawn comes in, and he grabs the sword. D-Light recovery likely coming out. You see him dash dodge in. D-Light recovery almost going to do it. Not quite enough power on that one.
All right, right now Meg D is fighting for damage. Wants to get Zinker into the red, so at least Crocky only has to really take out 1, but another D-Light recovery, and Crocky now has to do the job of evening it up for the team. He has to make it so that Kosalix has a decent fighting chance against Sandstorm.
Now, one thing that Crocky mentioned is his game plan was to have Zinker fight against Meg D, maybe Meg D get the lead early on. One, that didn't happen, so the game plan is already starting off rocky. Then Crocky was hoping that he could just take out Snowy and handle him on his own because that axe was going to be troublesome for Kosalix. Crocky may not even get that chance, or if he does, he may have 1 stock going into the 3 of Snowy. So the game plan for Canada is already rough.
Yeah, things are looking real bad for Canada. Meanwhile, Zinker looking real good on this Koji. He was definitely warmed up for the day. You were talking about how he's a grinder. Likely was doing some grinding right before Pro Series start. A sidelight into a neutral light, and Zinker might take another stock. There it is, D-Light recovery, and Zinker's doing real good for the Northeast.
Now, Crocky yesterday started with the Mirage like he is today, and then he swapped onto the Nash. His Mirage game was... It was looking not what I would want to see from a Mirage player. He wasn't doing too many scythe things of getting those dodge reads, getting those extended strings, finding those knockouts, finding the signatures specifically that are unique to Mirage. Then he swapped over to the Nash and did definitely better. So he's also going in here with the Mirage as the starting character. That sword is in Zinker's hands. You know what he's able to do with that. He is on his final stock, but he has 50 damage on this stock. Ooh, nice job to get back onto the stage with gravity cancel side sig.
Yeah, I like that wake up from Crocky. Just kind of shoves Zinker away, make sure he gets back to the stage. Nice. These pokes from Crocky are adding up damage. He doesn't want to take too much damage before coming into Snowy. Big side sig, puts Zinker off stage. Will take a little bit more than a recovery to take out Zinker right now, but Crocky is doing a good job of not taking too much damage, trying to finish off Zinker, the first player for the Northeast.
Drops the D-Light Sair. Oh no, for the spear player that Crocky is, that is so brutal to see. He's now at the weapon disadvantage. One comes in as he unarmed side airs Zinker away. It's back to the spear. Is Zinker going to get this stock when he was almost dead to rights off of that possible D-Light Sair that ended up missing? Is he looking for the side signature or maybe just the weapon toss pickup? Goes in for the dash D-Sig. He gets the stock. Zinker is out of the Game 1 crew battle here. It's now Snowy's turn. And if Crocky wants to take out Snowy, he's going to have to find some big plays.
Zinker's done his job, man. He put his team +1 and added damage onto Crocky. At this point, Crocky's really got to fight for this one, but Snowy with the gravity cancel side sig, and things are looking fantastic for the Northeast. Crocky's the one. You were talking about it. His job was to take out Snowy, and if he doesn't put Snowy on the last stock, then things are going to be rough for the Canadians.
Nice dodge up to get through the ground pound of Crocky in this edge guard situation. Gauntlet's coming out. See if he can get in on this spear from Crocky. All we've really seen is a weapon toss so far. Several whiff moves, but also not a lot of commitments coming out. Doesn't get the punish there in time. The side sigs from Crocky have either been getting hits and getting KOs or not getting punished.
Yeah, he's been throwing out a lot more sigs today than he did yesterday. Still putting out some good damage pretty safely, but the second he gets caught, he does take quite a bit of damage. Has Snowy in the offstage unarmed. Might see this stock if he gets the hit, but Snowy picks up the axe.
Crocky coming in over on the right side, gets back onto the stage. We aren't seeing any GC down signatures from that axe that we saw Snowy kind of doing in Celebration. Zoning away with the anti-airs, coming out with the neutral air on the axe. Has a lot of damage on a Crocky. Crocky still hasn't been able to take away this first stock from Snowy.
Ooh, missed the side air. There's Snowy. It's the weapon toss. Crocky trying to go for the weapon drop. Down sig does not connect. Punish opportunity.
Oh no! What were you going
for
with that? That's such a risky commitment there when you're in the red, and you saw Crocky was so ready to punish that.
Well, to Snowy's credit, his team is pretty far ahead, so he can go for a little bit of a riskier play, try to maybe put some mental damage out there, make them think he'll go for those crazy plays, because all he really needs is one good hit, and Crocky's out of there.
Gauntlets in hand, you're seeing a lot of side airs coming out. Now he's disarmed as that weapon toss went all the way to the right side. Crocky's still controlling the weapons here as that spawn comes in and he grabs the scythe. That one's able to be grabbed by Snowy, has the axe, just fish for a side air. Just be an axe player and fish for a side air.
Or might not even need it, the neutral light from mid-stage almost does it.
KO off the top, unarmed recovery right in the middle of that ground pound. And here is Koslix. Crocky wasn't able to handle Snowy like he thought he might be able to. 2 stocks to Snowy's name. It's now axe v axe. Next weapon spawn that comes in, going to be a lance for Koslix, and he's able to grab it.
It's kind of funny seeing the Canadians be like very one weapon focused, right? Crocky was very clearly going for the spear. Koslix very clearly wanting to play this lance. Oh, goodness. Oh.
Dude, he almost had that gimp with the D-Sig. Yeah. That would have been absolutely nasty. The side air from Koslix is going to take away the second stock of Snowy.
That was a really good axe string from Snowy, too. He did the side light in air, and then opted for a jump down air, reading Koslix go down, and then he just had pure pressure because Lance does not do great against an axe above.
Ooh, backed away from that neutral. Like, it's the immediate punish. Ooh, not enough jumps, I guess, to go for a recovery there at the top. Koslix's first stock is coming to the end, and there it is. Now going to spawn in on his second stock. He's a little over a full stock ahead of Snowy right now. He's able to get the first weapon spawn. Snowy holding that one, maybe expecting the big read of Koslix going off the edge. Maybe went a little bit too far with that one, in a little bit of a risky position. Koslix was there, but didn't quite have the punish on him.
Yeah, I kind of like what Snowy did there, right? Like he did the down sig in the wrong direction, and it was just like, I'm gonna hold it and go off stage. It's gonna be a little bit safer actually against you because you're not in position to punish this. Now there's side light, side air, and Koslix is taking damage that he cannot afford.
Sidelight Sair sent him far off stage. Sidelight Nair didn't quite have the positioning off of the sidelight to go for the Sair. Ooh. Dodges away from that ground pound, gets through it. The side air from Kostelix. Can he take Snowy out here? Goes for the gravity cancel in light to put out a long string of active frames. Snowy's able to punish that down signature. He hesitated for a second just to make sure he was in the right spot. He knew he had some time to punish it. Gets the second stop.
Snowy looking for that extra credit now, wants to get that guaranteed dub. If he gets Kostelix into the orange or red, it'll be it, but it's still Sandstorm coming in with 3 stocks to the 1 of Kostelix. Can he do the reverse 3?
Now this is kind of the spot that Sandstorm has been in for all of the games so far. He's kind of been the cleanup crew, but he's been the cleanup crew where like he's the midnight custodian and the building closes at noon. So, like, when he comes to empty the garbage cans and dust and clean everything up for the next day, like, there's really no mess. He comes in, does 200 damage, gets, like, the final 1 or 2 stocks, and he's done.
Yeah, he's just doing what he needs to do, cleaning up that last little bit. Somebody left a sheet of paper on the floor. Kostelix, though, has Sandstorm in the off stage. Sandstorm immediately able to get back up and dodges inside the down line.
Damage definitely consistently building on Kostelix. You're seeing the down airs come out. Has the greatsword in hand. He was using the 2 waves that come out on the left and the right in the signature kit to take out a lot of stocks yesterday. Comes to the Katars, the recovery not enough. I know Qatar players out there seeing all that damage on his stock, seeing the recovery not KO, and they're wailing in pain.
But he's still got the great sword. A Dare Nair, Dare Recovery could easily do this on the Kostelix. Kostelix trying to get this stock. But there it is. Dare into Nair. Kostelix is out of there. 3 stocks left for Sandstorm, and the Northeast going to put 1 on the board.
And Zinker did 1,000 damage. 1,007 to be exact. He's been coming out and doing so much work. Now, I'll be real with you. His efficiency is not that great, but it's still good. He's still getting a lead for his team. He's still outlasting his opponent. So like you said earlier, like he's doing his job. He's doing his job and then some.
Yeah. Going 3 for 3 is net 0. That's like, hey, you didn't let the team down. When you go positive, when you're taking 4 stocks for your 3, that's doing good for the team. That is setting your team up for success. And Zinker, as that front man, is doing a really good job for that. There's not too much pressure in the front because it's like, hey, if I messed up, there's still 2 people behind me. It's okay. It's a team game. It's fine. But when you can set your team up like that with the 4 stocks with 1,000 damage, that's pretty nice.
And keep in mind, yesterday it was Zinker against Zexus, which Zexus is a good player. You'll see him sometimes on stream. Compare that to today where it's Zinker against Megdi. That's huge. PR 14, 1,900 in winnings, #1 on the ranked leaderboard as of last night. Picked 2nd in the 1st round compared to picked last in the 2nd round. Zinker is doing work today. Northeast recognized his talent and that eye was keen.
Yeah, they had a really good scouting agent, I gotta say. Whoever was on the Northeast who was like, yo, everybody's sleeping on these guys, brilliant picks. On the other side, yeah, kind of to your point, Meg D was, I think most people would consider an arguably better pick than like Zexus. Meg D is arguably a stronger player, and the fact that they had the confidence to put him in the 1v1 against Boomy shows that they're really confident in his 1v1 ability, and Zinker is playing with him like he is a bowl of mashed potatoes. Like he is just playing with his food.
You saw his stats just a second ago. They were very humble, to say the least. They were the stats of a new player who's making waves now. He had like 5 top 32s and $260 in winnings. And that's it. And that is a very humble beginning that he is continuing to show why those numbers will change very soon.
What a wake up from Zinker as we are in the 2nd crew battle. Again, we're in best of 3 crew battles. If Canada wins this one, we'll go to another crew battle to see who wins the crew battle set. But right now, Megdi with the Katars is doing better here in game number 2 as he's staying even with Zinker so far.
We're kind of seeing the same initiations, though, from Megdi, playing very slow, running all the way to the left side of the stage, then floating. We haven't seen Zinker get that sword momentum just yet as he gets deeper into the orange, but Megdi is definitely playing this very slowly.
I mean, it is a crew battle, right? You want to try to play this as safe as possible because you want to get every lead that you can because it just compounds the more that you can get them. Right now, he's got Zinker in the offstage. Gonna opt to back away, let Zinker get back up onto the stage because he wants weapon control more than he wants Zinker on the corner.
Still continuing with that weapon dominance here. The spawn comes in, the recovery sends Megdi away, and it's going to be the bow for Zinker. You already saw the sword come out, so the next weapon is the bow. With all these floating, beautiful dodge through there, and he gets the signature finish on that. What a cheeky little play there from Zinker.
That's OG Koji. Like when Koji first got released, I remember one of the artists being like, yo, do D-Light and Sit. You need to know this move. And Zinker bringing it out here years after his release. Megdi has the opportunity to get the stock, though. D-Light recovery is all that he needs to get this one back to even, but Zinker is adding up that damage.
Megdi back on the sword, really hasn't found any hits yet, does find the recovery, even though it was on like the right side edge of that, didn't steer away from it where it would have dropped, got the KO off the top, but so far Zinker is doing what he's been doing, gets a little bit of a lead, and he's able to carry that through, giving his team a lot of room to play with.
Good dodges from Megdi, nice read, picks up that neutral air for a little bit of extra damage. But you're not seeing those huge strings come out from Megdi just yet. And you're seeing actually, yeah, a lot of respect to Zinker's approaches. You see how far Megdi will back away when Zinker is moving forward.
Ooh, that slap, that turned him red. Has weapon advantage. Zinker not afraid to push the unarmed against Megdi's sword. D-Light recovery, not enough to KO off the top. Another weapon spawn comes in and Megdi's able to grab it. Gonna stick with the sword for the consistent KO options compared to Katars. Neutral air, and we're seeing back on the bow. Are we gonna see a repeat of the first stock here?
Might just be a clean D-Light recovery. I don't think it'll quite knock out just yet. But you're seeing Megdi feel a little bit more confident, able to dash in towards Zinker as he has him in the red, and there's a D-Light recovery to get the first lead for the Canadians.
Saw the recovery coming out. You saw the D-Light come out right after that. Neither of them hit, but Zinker's looking for the KO option. Dash dodge. Zinker's using that a lot today to get to the other side of his opponent safely.
Yeah, he's had some clean dodges through Megdi's counterattacks. Good spot dodge there. You see Megdi going in. There is the dribble into the recovery for Zinker to even up that stock count.
And he grabbed that with that soft platform kind of being there to shake things up just a little bit. So he's able to grab the D-Light Dare into the recovery for the 3-piece KO option. Had enough damage to where that Dare stunned for long enough for the recovery to pick up and come out. Still behind here just a little bit. Finding some damage added up. That turned him yellow. Finds another hit as well.
Yeah, Megdi is starting to build up a lead here onto Zinker. Might be the first time we see Zinker not take the 3 stocks off of the starting opponent. D-Light recovery, and Zinker is out of there. In comes Snowy. Megdi is now doing what the Canadians had originally planned of taking out Zinker, setting them up against Snowy so that Crockett can hopefully finish off Snowy, and Kostlix can get the straight 1v1 against Sandstorm.
We'll see when Snowy finds a hit onto Megdi, if Megdi is truly in the orange yet, with 100 to 100 plus damage on the second stock. First hit comes out from Megdi, backing up, floating, being very careful on how he chooses to initiate onto Snowy. He is in the orange.
He does have some health to play with. Snowy gonna hold on to that ground pound, actually going through the soft platform and try to put himself in a safer position so Megdi can't punish. Megdi is getting these slices though onto Snowy.
It's difficult for Snowy to find any hits, and that worries me once Megdi starts to get into the red. I don't know if Snowy's going to be able to find a side air. Does get the sidelight into the side air and the weapon toss. Edgeguard situation coming up. Goes for the ground pound. Wants to hold it. give Meg D time to figure out where he's going to go, and then Snowy can punish that instead of gripping it and ripping it too early.
He just needed that one opening onto Meg D and just completely obliterates that stock. Now it is 6-6. Crocky coming in, has the scythe in hand, will likely be looking for a situation where he can throw this away safely and switch over to the spear. Punish, just a neutral light.
Surprised he didn't come in with the classic Crocky weapon toss. I haven't seen too many of those today. You saw him a lot yesterday. Once the game started to get away from him a little bit, he was back to relying on those classic Crocky weapon tosses. Wasn't able to turn him into too much with the scythe. It was definitely better on spear where he could throw the weapon toss and hit a falling nair on his opponent.
Yo, it's at least a safe option, and in crew battles, doing the safe thing, you can't fault him for, even if it's only 1-2 damage per weapon toss. But here comes the spear spawn. Snowy gonna steal it out away from Crocky. Crocky wants this spear for the D-Light Sair knockout tool.
Snowy definitely very angry that he wasn't able to pick up the recovery off of that because the neutral air sent Crocky through the soft platform.
You saw him try to continue it with the ground pound, though, and it even baited out a dodge from Crocky. Snowy not really able to capitalize off of it. Likely looking for the axe now for a big Sair to knock out. Or a neutral light. Not even going to put him off screen.
Good side air. Is Crocky going to do it? Is he going to execute the plan? Has a small lead here. Weapon toss is coming out. One of them actually even hits. Knocks out the recovery that possibly could have clipped into Crocky. If he got caught jumping, maybe would have been the KO option. So Crocky maintaining this lead. Weapon spot comes in, just throws out a nair on it, and there's the recovery from Snowy. He's going to now have weapon control on the stage, moving all the way to the left side, now back to the middle.
It's looking a lot closer here. The Canadians definitely made the adjustments that they needed between the last game and this one. You see Crocky even playing a little bit more with this Scythe against Snowy. Knows that Scythe historically has a good matchup into the Axe, but does Crocky's Scythe have a good matchup into the Axe? That's the question.
Do you know what time the clock starts at? Does it start at 20 minutes? I think it does.
It's a 20-minute match.
Okay, that's what I thought. We're now 8 minutes into this game. That is a pretty significant time chunk when these players both have 2 stocks left to them, and that sort of seems like what Team Canada is going for. Crocky playing very slowly. Meg D also was playing very slowly.
Yeah, they really want to just like, not win by attrition per se, but just get those safe hits, get that quick little tap onto the opponent, and it'll add up. The weapon toss from Snowy guarantees the knockout onto Crocky. And now Snowy only in the orange. It's going to take a little bit more work from Crocky to get this one back to even.
Weapon spawn comes in. Snowy's barely able to grab it. Another one comes in. Snowy grabs that one as well. Even throws the gauntlets away. Wants to stick to this axe. Whiffing a lot of moves here. Now he's at the weapon disadvantage against Crocky's Scythe. Crocky throws his weapon. Goes for the ground pound follow-up. Another spawn comes in. They're sort of trading weapons back and forth.
Falling nair into the dare. Snowy adding up the damage. D-Light into the recovery. Crocky needs this stock off of Snowy. Starting to get a little desperate here. You're starting to see those SIGs come out.
No side SIGs from him really so far this game. No like wake up side SIG that he was using earlier. No wake up. Oh! Crocky, no! Oh, that hurts! That hurts to see!
Why? Why did he go for a dare? He went for the ledge cancel. He went for something other than just a Sair for the stock. And now Kostlix has to come in and try to take 5 off the northeast.
Does find the side air. Strong way to start this one. Cleaning that second stock of Snowy's up very quickly. Lance in hand, has weapon control. And he's able to grab the axe, throw it away, pick his lance back up. So definitely dominating the weapon control here. In comes the axe. Kostlix has his trusty lance.
The comfort weapon, but it is against Snowy's axe, and Snowy's axe is a chopping tool. He is able to add up so much damage with this axe so quickly. This is the punish. All these trades are in the favor of the Northeast as Kostlix swaps lances.
Ooh, is that going to KO? I thought it might.
Not quite.
That's also one of the few signatures we've seen from Snowy so far, specifically this game. Oh. There goes the D-Sig. That's going to easily take away that second stock, throwing him out on stage. That one hit on a soft platform. Koslik's peeked up with his hurt box just a little bit too much.
Yeah, had he stayed low, the soft platform would have eaten that down Sig, and he would have been safe, but he peaked just high enough. And Snowy now adding up this damage onto Koslik's second to last stock. Good movement from Snowy to avoid that weapon toss. Avoids the ground pound. Might get the turnaround here, but a good dodge from Koslik's gets him back onto the stage.
You saw Koslik's really confident in going in the edge guard situation, axing and Snowy, and his positioning on things were looking really good. Like, that was a really solid weapon toss that Snowy was able to get through. But that was Koslik's recognizing he has to go for some big plays like that. He has to get this stock here. Oh, and he grabs it. The turnaround recovery, charging that one up. It's now Koslik's 2 stocks, one of which is extremely red against Sandstorm.
That's a classic Lance plays. Go for the reverse recovery, but Sandstorm with a recovery of his own, going to put Koslik's onto his final stock here in the crew battles.
And again here, we're going to see kind of low damage numbers from Sandstorm in the end, just because he doesn't have to do too much damage. It's coming in with a very red stock from Koslik's, so you had 1 recovery's worth of damage to take that one away. Now already in the yellow, so we've seen him do 50+ damage coming into this one so far.
It's a nice little sidelight. Couldn't quite get the follow-up, though. With them dancing around a little bit here, as Sandstorm not able to get a grounded Koslik's, right? Like, that's what you want with the Greatsword, is a grounded opponent so you can get those big extended strings. Meanwhile, Koslik's playing a lot more aerial than he's done in the past.
He's playing aerial, and he's throwing out a lot of moves, some of which are whiffing, but Sandstorm hasn't really been able to punish any of the whiffs. You've seen the moves come out too, but none of them have really hit. Is Koslik's going to be able to do this? 50 damage on his final stock. If he keeps this lance pressure up, the next weapon is going to be Katar's. The unarmed finding almost as many hits as he did with the Greatsword.
Went for the read there, but Sandstorm dodged down. Oh, he was going for the Gimp there. You saw him go for the second side air. Really wanted to push it. If he had gotten it, that would have been real nice for the Canadians. He's going again. Goes for a neutral there, but Sandstorm goes below it. Yo, Koslik's is doing this.
He's looking really good here. Again, throwing out a lot of moves, and hardly any of them are being punished.
All right, a little nair from Sandstorm. Damage is good, though, for Sandstorm. If he can just add up enough damage, he can get Koslik's into the red when he comes onto his final stock. Nice neutral light.
Now, Sandstorm will have some safer moves here, specifically talking about the Qatar Nair, and he just falls right into it. If Koslik's gets this reverse 3, I don't think he will, but the potential is there. The way he's playing right now, it's massive. There.
But he can't eat a dare, he can't eat a recovery. Those could lead to the knockout. Koslik's adding up more and more damage onto Sandstorm. Sandstorm with 1 recovery. Koslik's is disarmed. But he picks up a lance. Can he get the reverse 3 stock and take this to a game 3 crew battle? Sandstorm.
Oh, Sandstorm's red!
Oh, this is so close. He's sweating. On the offstage, the movement, trying to bait something out. Misses a recovery, but Sandstorm hits the second one and takes the crew battles for the Northeast.
That was way closer than it should have been. Koslik's, oh my goodness, coming into that, playing incredible.